And welcome back, everyone. Ellington here, and we are back on Total War Rome 2. We have got ourselves a 2 versus 2 on the settlement of Alexandria Aracosia. As you can see, we're following a unit of cavalry here. We've got ourselves some Pergamene noble cav, and they're going to charge right into, looks like a general to me, Carthaginian general. Is that what I see? Which is not a good thing for Carthage. Carthage's general's bodyguard is only a 40-man unit and not nearly as good as Pergamene Noble Cav. Now, the Noble Cav has taken losses. Where does he taken so much losses from? He's at 54 out of 80 already. Now, the general's bodyguard at 24 out of 40. General is still alive. I'm actually surprised that they didn't take losses across the river. So these towers have scorpions on top of them, and they were shooting them. And so I'm kind of surprised they didn't take any losses. The general's bodyguard there actually only 3 kills. Okay, so there's 31 kills there and 23 kills there. So that's all the Javies. But man, he did a number on that general's bodyguard. So today, let's go ahead and get into the factions. We have got Carthage on attack here. Carthage being commanded by, I don't know, bro. Now his ally all the way on the other side of the map, we've got Athens being commanded by Trojans with a Z. And then for the defenders, obviously you saw, we have Pergamon being commanded by Wildebeest. And we can't really see them other than just their artillery, which they have 2 of. We've got Macedon being commanded by Josh. So you can see Athens coming in. Athens with no towers. Interesting. Usually especially if you're kind of like by yourself, quote unquote, I try to bring a mixture of tortoises and towers, so then you still have the capability to land on walls if you want to. But he went all tortoises, and so the walls are gone. They do not exist anymore. You can see big gaps down here. Pergamon here with some Galatian swords. Got a lot of Galatian swords from Galatia, or from Pergamon, excuse me. Pergamene noble cav still kind of being a little cheeky, still kind of like, hey, I'm right here. Hey, look at me. The general's bodyguard at 20 out of 40. They are lucky they didn't lose him. I thought that the Pergamene noble cav was going to obliterate this unit. They are getting shot, and unfortunately, they are going to go down. Balearic slingers finishing them off. Well, looks like the Libyans actually going to get the final. So now, I mean, it kind of slowed Carthage a little bit. I'm not sure why. Carthage had his army way back here. And it's going to take him a while now to get up to these walls, which means that until then, Athens is all by himself on this attack. Now, as of right now, I'm not seeing much of both factions. I kind of expected, with how far back Carthage was, that we might see Macedonian units come over here to try and double team Athens. You can see we got thorax swords leading off. We got some Galatian swords trying to hold them back. Hold, men! Hold your ground! Get some good screenshots there. Some thorax. I mean, it's all thorax swords from Athens. Now, Pergamon is backing up his Galatian swords with the Agema spears. It looks like he went pretty full just Galatian and Agema spears. I haven't seen any thorough spears yet. That's one thing about Pergamon, is it lacks a little bit of like a mid-tier. Thorough spears really aren't great in combat. Agema spears are pretty solid. They're basically just better thorough spears. And they can do pretty well for you, especially if you get your Javies off first. They have 5 Javies, and I believe it, yeah, 5. 5 Javies. And if you get all the ammunition off, I mean, look at them. They're at 59 kills and they haven't even gone in melee combat. It's pretty solid. They got thorough spears from Athens coming in. We've got archers here from Pergamon shooting up into the thorax swords up on this little plateau thing here. On the other side, once again, I mean, Carthage isn't even close yet. Got militia hoplites up on the wall just guarding against the tower. We've got a shield bearer. I'm assuming the rest of Macedon's army is spread in this general area. I think that Macedon kind of missed a big opportunity to be able to get some double teams here. You know, there's some Macedonian units there, thorough spears and thorax swords. Wonder if they brought any, oh, here we go. Thorax pikes, militia hoplites. The problem with Macedon is that it's a very expensive faction. It doesn't have a whole lot in the way of low-tier units. Its only low-tier units are the mercenary Thracian warriors, and even those are, you know, decently, you know, more expensive than like a, you know, a Celtic warrior. You know what I mean? Like, it's helpful. It's nice to have some cheap units to kind of fill out your army a little bit. Macedon really doesn't have a very good option of that. A lot of people tend to, you know, go with like a militia hoplite. The militia hoplites aren't very good. You know, so it just once again kind of puts you in a sticky situation of Macedonian armies tend to be a little small. Thorough spears here going to take on a thorough spear of Athens, it looks like. All the way over here, okay, they have marched down the street. We've got a game of spears, 2 units of a game of spears holding some thorax swords, as well as we've got the Cretan archers set up here now with a beautiful shot into this defense here. These game of spears are not going to last very long there. This area over here is just a little sketchy to me, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like a mosh pit. Doesn't seem like there's really any like solidified defense in this spot. Archers getting shot now by Cretans, I believe. I think the Balearics, this is Cretan here. 147 kills on that Cretan. Get some jabbies off. $35 kills, 29 kills, 51. What about the thorax? 78, 136 on the thoros, 52 on the other thoros. Okay, now we're on the other side. Carthage has finally broken through, keeping his army in kind of this compact formation here. Not 100% sure why, but could be maybe a newer player and maybe not as familiar with the, you know, strategies of, you know, setting your units in formations, you know what I mean? It looks like he's kind of just like doing like a click and, you know, basically select all move, you know what I mean? Gallic warriors getting ripped apart by some thorax swords. See, what you do at this point, you probably should engage with your Gallic warriors and then bring your Cretan archers forward and shoot those guys in the side. They decide not to land on the tower yet, or on the wall yet. On the other side, Athens really making a lot of progress. Like I said, you can see that did not last long as soon as those archers got that side shot. So now Athens going to come in on the flank here. Pergamon's in a lot of trouble, actually. He doesn't seem to really have enough troops to you know, kind of guard all this. There's nothing down this street. These guys are about to get sideswiped. The archers are basically just getting wiped out by the Cretans. They're holding decently well here, at Macedon is at least. They probably are going to have to consider a fallback here pretty soon. Now, what that unfortunately means for Macedon here is that Macedon is going to have to basically give up his defense sooner than he probably wants to. You know, because if they fall back, then that's going to open up this whole area to the attackers, and that means Macedon's defense is going to be exposed. So if I was Macedon, I think I'd want to get in and get as much damage done as I possibly could right now. They are starting to get those archer shots in now. 41 kills on the Cretans. We got the Gallic warriors going up against the Thorax swords. Also a mercenary Samnite warrior coming in on that. Well, okay, I mean, Pergamon seems to be putting up a defense again. He's got a problem right here, though, and there doesn't seem to be anything anywhere remotely near to being able to stop this. I think the Cretans might be out of ammo because they seem to be trying to sneak through. Probably trying to get into these archers here. But he didn't quite make it. So they have broken through on this side. Thorough spears, 2 units of thorough spears. The Thorax sword here is only 54 men. And they don't even seem to be aware it's happening. Yeah, this whole side is gone. Look at that. Just gone. Which is bad because they have continued, committed more units to here, which means they're going to take losses trying to leave if they can. They're committed here as well, so same thing, they will take losses as they try to retreat from there. And as of right now, they have nothing set. Here's some sort of range unit. I think it was a Rhodian Slinger. Oh, Thracian Peltis. Over on the Carthaginian Macedon side, Macedon continuing to hold. He's got militia hoplites taken on the mercenary Scutari from Carthage. They're kind of taking the brunt of it, while the Thorax sword is kind of getting some jabbies off. He brought just regular archers. 9 kills, 17 kills, 27. I think, personally, you probably should have brought the Cretans, but it's fine. Thorax probably going to go in on the Scutari, I assume. I'm a little surprised the archers aren't doing more damage to these Scutari. They don't like archers very much. Oh, man. What a big loss. 2 units of Galatian swords, and if these Agimas stay here, I would take this unit, plug the gap, and I'd get the hell out of Dodge with the bigger unit. You might even be able to just get out right now. Yeah, nope, not anymore. He's going to die where he stands, square formation. I think that's a big loss, man. I think that those 2 Agima Spears could have been very, very impactful to the end here. So we'll see. Macedon doesn't seem to have any intention of leaving. You can see Macedon is using formation attack. You can see... You can see. The reason I say that is because you can see that the unit isn't really folding in around the Samnite, which is in a smaller formation. So, and the Samnites also, I believe, are using formation attack. So, it's kind of like preventing either of them from probably being as effective as they could be. Up on the wall, we got the Mercenary Scutari throwing jabbies down, but I think they're out. They've got 52 kills now. On the other side, we got 1 Thorax Sword starting to break. He's got 128 kills. Samnite Warriors with 81, but they're down to 89 men. There is a fresh Thorax in there as well. Thorough Spears backing away, so they might be planning to leave here. Militia Hoplites also going in, so maybe they're going to pull the Thorax out of there. I think they're planning on leaving this. It looks like the Thoros is planning on backing away, as well as the Thorax Sword. It's a shame because they're probably not going to get this one out, and if they do, he's going to take a lot of losses. Even that one there, 113 men now. Now, Macedon brought 2 of the Bastion Ballistas. We do have a Carthaginian Iberian sword threatening this upper keep, by the way. Usually, it is a rule of 1 artillery. Obviously, I don't know the rules that they played by, and also it's hard to communicate said rules in the lobbies now that the chat box is gone. Notice the little grayed out little chat box thing. Gema Spears, 57 kills. Now the artillery from Pergamon's starting to take some shot. No, it's Macedon, isn't it? Who the hell is shooting all the way over there? It had to have been him, right? Because Macedon's not facing the right way. Yep, it's him. He's just manually firing it. Can't seem to get quite... There's a good shot. Unfortunately, he is going to inevitably hit some of his own men here, but to be honest with you, he probably has to. Okay, Thorax Sword setting up on the bridge. The other Thorax staying in combat. He's probably, you know, it's probably not a terrible idea. You're going to take losses trying to fall back. You're in combat with a really good unit. Might as well just finish it off. Or attempt to finish it off. Weaken it as much as you possibly can. They do seem interested in holding the bridge here. They might be able to pull it off. But it can be a little bit tough. It's a broad choke point. So usually what we see is more of a defense like on the hill here, on the stairs, stuff like that. Remember, the point is here. This is the cap point. Not this. That's not the cap point. Not the cap point. Athens taking his time. He's finishing off the Agema Spear. Assume he's waiting for Carthage to put a bit more pressure on. Cretan Archers, 189, 202, 208. Cretan Archers for Athens just ripped up, man. 155 with the Silver Chevron. I don't know if he was Chevron originally, but... So realistically, it's basically just Macedon holding the point. There might be some scatterings of Pergamon units left. You can see a couple archers up here. But all we can see is Macedon. He's got shield bearers, thorax pikes, thorax swords. In most of the Discord games, when I say that, like any of the Total War Discords, usually this is not allowed, which is what we call pike stacking. Pikes are already incredibly annoying, and realistically the only way to deal with them effectively is archers. So to then allow them to be stacked with a super heavy armor unit, which these guys aren't super heavy armor, but basically what happens is that they absorb a lot of that ammunition that's put into the unit. And so usually by rules, we don't typically allow that. Once again, this is not an in-house game, so the rules are kind of whatever they kind of come up with, I guess. You know, whatever they can kind of relatively effectively communicate to the other players due to no chat. Shield Bearers, it's not the greatest unit. I would have preferred a Royal Peltist here. Maybe even a Foot Companion Pike unit. So they pulled back a little bit on the bridge, more to this end of the bridge. I think the bonus that they have is that I think that the archers are out of ammo. Well, at least the Athenian archers. The Carthaginian archers seem to still have ammunition. Look at this. Pergamon's got an archer unit out here pestering the Cretans. Not for very long, as you can see. Militia Hoplite up there actually held pretty well. You know, he didn't get a lot of kills, but he stood on that wall for a long time. And he's still kicking it, man. Athens started to move forward. I think Athens needs to take this really slow. Even though he beat Pergamon, he is very weak. He took a lot of losses. You know, most of his unit, I don't think he has a unit over, okay, so he got one unit over half. Maybe his general as well. No, his general even, look at that. The only healthy unit, like really healthy unit Athens has is the Thorough Spear right here. Everything else he has is under half health, or around half health. So Athens is very, very weak at the moment. We still have artillery firing. He's got 90 kills on that bad boy. Now, the artillery over here was destroyed. This one seems to have full ammunition. Here we go, Mastodon pulling back even further. Here we go, Pergamon does have a unit still left. His general, a 2 Chevron Agema Spear. Cretan Archer is advancing up right up in front of the stairs here. They have no ammo. Maybe they're hoping that if these guys have jabbies, they throw them. But they won't because they're in shield wall. Thracian Peltis behind the line. You can see the shield bearer is just holding the flank here. Throw Spear is sitting back here and not going forward. You know, Athens could probably at least advance to, you know, this general area. Well, I guess they're worried about the artillery. That's probably why they're not. Macedon is going to have some beautiful shots down this bridge. Now, whether he takes them or not. So we got a full unit of Libyan infantry. Carthage is healthy, man. Unfortunately, Macedon didn't really get to fight him effectively due to how quickly... Well, it's not even how quickly. The delay of Carthage's attack allowed Athens to do what he did, and he won his side, and that basically put Macedon on the back foot, right? Interestingly, the Macedonian artillery shooting all the way back here. You got a unit right in front of you that you would have a far more effective chance of hitting. You gotta remember, the longer, or the further you go, so you have a circle, right? Then you go further, you get a circle. You go further, you get a circle. You know what I mean? As you go further range, the spread of your shots gets worse and worse, so your accuracy is bad. So you got a hit there. He's up to, looks like 18. Nope, here we go. 19 kills. I think I'd hold it. And, you know, then I'd be shooting right here. You got two, you know, units in relative close distance to each other. There we go. What you do is you aim right there. That's where you aim, because then your circle's like this, encompassing 2 whole units. And he's just unlucky, apparently. Cretan Archer's just charging in. I'm not sure why. Shield Bearer's charging in on these Cretan Archers. Pergamon Ballista does still have ammunition. He's holding on to it, which is a smart idea. 32 kills, 33 kills. There you go. Roll it right through him. 38 now. Now, what I probably would have done here, I probably would have set up a kill box, because you've got a lot of jabby units, which would allow you to put the Agema Spear wherever he can get the best angle. But as is, the way you're set up, these 2 units really can't get a very good fire on anything. Archer's focusing on the pikes. It's a good idea. 40 kills on the ballista. Athens is probably going to have to join this fight soon. Carthage has tons of units. Bounce power is pretty well in the attacker's favor at this point. Probably due to Carthage having so much left. Thorax went in, finish off the Cretans. The Thorax pikes here are not in the best formation. You might, you know, while you have a breather, you might want to redistribute that line a little bit better. Macedonian archers getting pelted by the Carthaginian Cretans. I'd be aiming at that pike at all costs with that artillery. I think even if you're, you know, less chance to hit, this guy is a big threat. Right there. Really, shooting the Cretan archers isn't going to really do a whole lot for him. So, I don't know. He's got a little bit of a kill box set up, but the problem is that kill box isn't going to last when these guys come right there. Don't charge into the pikes. Don't charge into the pikes. Don't charge into the pikes. Stop it. Stop. Thank you. It's like, what the hell are you doing? They still have some archers left. 70, 59, and 104, 107 now. Okay, getting rid of that it's a big deal. You know, that's one unit that they, you know, will have a little bit more issue fighting. They do have another African pike back here. And unfortunately, I doubt that the defenders are going to have the ammunition to kill a second one. Decide, I mean, they're just chilling. The Pergamon Ballista is still holding his ammo. Over on the left now, they've had to commit the general. They give his spears going in. $18 kills. If he's got some jabbies left, now he might be able to get some shots in. I bet you that Cretan's out of ammo now. Wow, 210 kills and he still has his bow out. The game, I think, is trying to get a shot here. Or maybe trying to sneak around, it looks like. Kind of get the back end of that Libyan. If he got jabbies there, that would be bad. There you go. Just hit him right in the back. Oh, yeah. There's that second thorough spear. Not the greatest shot from them, though. Now, the one thing these guys got to be careful of is what might be coming right there. 2 range units. So 2 Balearic slingers now focused in on your general. Okay, once you kill the Libyan, get your ass back to safety. I mean, I guess his army's dead, so I guess he doesn't have to be too worried about his general. Macedon still wants to be smart about his, which is the shield bearer over here. Thorough spears, they might still have ammo. Nope, they got the regular spear out. But there's those archers. Now they're finally starting to get some shots in. And there's really not a whole lot over here that can stop them, to be honest with you. Okay, Libyans are gone. The Gimas are now fighting Samnite warriors. Maybe they're going to swap here. Gima's now with 80 kills. The Gima is getting focused. Balearic 17 kills and 6 kills. Sorry, I'm just kind of browsing around looking at what's going on. This side, I think Athens just realistically doesn't know where to go at the moment. This can be a really hard thing to break through. Shield bearers, while I don't think they're the greatest thing, they are tough, and in a tight spot like this, they should hold relatively well against what Athens has to offer. And over here, you're facing thorax pikes and thorax swords, and they really don't have anything to stop that. So, realistically, I think what they're looking at is Carthage here is their biggest pressure. They've got to put the pressure on over here before Athens can realistically do a whole lot over here. Thracian Pelts is now focusing the Thorax Hoplite General. Doesn't look like he's dead. Yep, General seems to be alive still, 67 out of 160. If anything, you might want to swap these two, like their places. Thorough Spears here with 51 kills. Okay, Thracian Pelts is probably out of ammo now because they just went into combat over here to assist the shield bearers. Archers going out to fight the Cretans. It's not like they're going to beat the Cretans. Cretans are better than them. So at first I thought they were going to try and defend this and this. I'm like, why, when you can just defend one? It's not like they have the troops, you know, to spare to try and get cheeky, right? They're low on units, and they're not careful, they're going to lose this because of that. So, you know, just defend the one spot you can. This is kind of a iffy spot. Looks like they're going to give it up because honestly, I don't know if they have a choice. It's a very large area and they need the units. Now, the question then becomes how far do they fall back, right? You know, by holding, you know, they could probably hold here if they really wanted to. It does expose their flanks, but I don't know that they have a choice. Thorax Sword now facing up against the Shield Bearers and the Thracian Peltis. The other Thorax going into combat. Don't throw your Thorax Pike into combat. Leave your Pikeman where he is. Leave your Pikeman where he is. Take your Pikeman back and put him back in his position. Come on, what are you doing? Attacking with pikes is very, very difficult, and it's very hard to do because pikes operate very weirdly. They like to kind of do these like circles and do this awkward stuff, right? Which means that when they're out on the attack like this, it's easy to get in around them and take really unnecessary losses. Or just open the door for the general to just walk in. He might break anyways, but, you know, throwing the Thorax Sword, great idea. Go attack. They had nothing to stop you. Go attack them. The Pike, leave it in its defensive position. That's where it should be. That's where it needs to be. Take this guy and finish that off. See, now he's taking the Pike back. I don't know that Pergamon ever used the rest of his ammo.
Yes, Commander.
I wonder if he forgot. I think they're trying to break this general. I saw some fire arrows. But just take the Thorax Sword and finish him off. So what that does, that frees up the Shield Bearer to turn around and assist on the other side against most of Carthage. Now the question's going to be whether or not Carthage will send more units to threaten over here. They've got the one Scutari, but that's about it. It's not going to do it by itself. You have a Scorpion unit all the way the hell back here? Where's their oh my Lanta, what a waste of money. The Scorpion isn't even in the settlement. Oy vey. You could probably go shield wall if you wanted. I believe it does give a slightly better missile block chance. It does tighten the unit up a little bit though, so the Gema Spear gonna take on the Scutari, looks like. The Gema Spear is pretty beat up though. So is the Scutari. Combat even. Balearic Slinger's 132 kills now. Once again, the Pike now deciding that he can come help. But hold him, I would hold him back a little bit. Do not put him in a position for those Balearics to shoot him. There you go, that's perfect. Because right now, at the moment, this Thorax can probably guard this side for now. You will, and if it, you know, if they send more you have time to move another unit. Down here, you've got the, I think it's Sam Knight Warriors here versus the Thorax. Ah! Thorax 54 kills, 150 kills. Iberian 64, Sam Knight's 121. The Game of Spear is unfortunately going to go down here. You can see they got a second unit up there. I think he actually beat the Skutari. Yeah, he did. But then surrounded by Sam Knight Warriors and Gallic Warriors. 144 kills on the Agema. So what they're probably going to end up having to do is give this up. Right? Because if these guys come and threaten from the top of the stairs, then this is exposed and this is exposed. So their choices are they either guard this as well, or they tighten all of their formation all the way back here, which is probably the smarter idea, right? You have one checkpoint, or one choke point, one choke point, one choke point, rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see what they end up doing here. Gallic Warriors 168 kills now, 224 on the Sam Knight Warriors. One of the Thorax about to break. Don't send him in. They're going to do it. Because it's the other problem. Both of these Thorax are weak. So you're also going to lose this. So why guard this? And why guard this? So you're pulling this unit back. Why are you sending your general up here? What is happening right now? I don't agree with this move at all. Where are we going with our most important unit? Oh, man. I think that might have just been the thing that loses them this game. Because especially if they lose this general, they're in deep shit. But also, 1, 2, 3. You've got 2 units holding this. One of them is trying to kind of pad the Thorax Pike. You have nothing holding this. So now, if I'm Carthage, I'm sure as hell sending stuff over here. Now we're going to get Thorax Pike versus African Pike. Now, the African Pike is going to be on the attack, which typically puts them at the disadvantage. But the Thorax Pike has taken losses. And he's still taking losses. Oh, this was a huge... I don't agree with this move at all. Why, if you lost this and gave up this, why would you send your general up here? Just doesn't make sense. I think that was a massive mistake. Look at this. Sam Knight's now going to come and hit him in the back. 98 out of 160. He's got 180 kills. Thorough Spear's about to break. He advanced with his Thorax. Remember what I said? The unit on attack is at the disadvantage. So, if Carthage has to come to you, right? You don't have to go anywhere. So you could just sit your happy ass right there and say, Carthage, come on, buddy. Bring it on. But no, you decided to go on advance, which took you out of that. Oh, man. This Mastodon, I think, could have won this. I legitimately think they had a chance of winning this game. And threw it away right there at the end. Big mistakes. I'm not meaning to be harsh. I apologize. I'm not meaning to be harsh. But it's one of those things that's something I think you gotta learn from. All right, let's look at the attackers here. We got Trojans as Athens with 2,399 kills. Really kind of dominated his side. The Archers doing fantastic. 233 on a Thorax. Kind of all around did pretty solid. I don't know, bro. As Carthage, 2,199 kills. this guy, I think he's got to be a newer player. Just watching how like he maneuvered his army, especially early on. But he did pretty well, to be honest with you. Archers all did pretty solid. Sam Knight Warriors all did really well. He still has healthy units as well. For the defenders, we got Wills the Beast as Pergamon. Unfortunately, just a bit overpowered, outmatched on that beginning. You know, just lost a lot. His Cav really didn't get enough, which meant it didn't pay for himself, unfortunately. Josh as Macedon with 1,866 kills. A little bit better here. His infantry did pretty solid. Unfortunately, once again, early on his defense, he really didn't get to fight Carthage where he needed to fight Carthage, just due to what happened with Pergamon. But all in all, did a relatively good job until the end there. I think that was a big boo-boo in sending the general up that stairway instead of condensing the units onto the point to hold. But that is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget that if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.